Так, а сколько времени назад?
Monseigneur? Monseigneur, where are you? Seize him! Cagliostro, may you burn in hell! Lock him up!
Monsieur Lavoisier has fallen into a trap. His captors probably took him to the Palais du Luxembourg.
Ой, блин, как же долго бежать-то. Перебор вообще просто. Что? Как? Алло, вот он. Алло, алло, сейчас. Стой, стой, не оборачивайся. Ты чё? Как раз я дойду до тебя.
No, no, please, heaven help me!
You are wrong about my intentions.
Get back! You were only given the power of speech to better deceive your victims.
I come in peace, monsieur.
What do you want from me? Alafin?
What happened to those who died in this square?
What you see is the entire court of the Comte de Provence lying there. I am the only survivor.
The Comte de Provence. Has he fallen as well?
No. The scoundrel deceived us. He left the palace without telling us. When it was our turn to flee, it was already too late. The adventure ended here, on the steps of the theatre. At the hands of this monstrous creature who spits fire, ice, and lightning. The most courageous tried to fight back, but they met with the same fate as the others.
Does this creature have no weakness?
One would imagine. We did manage to land a few blows when it was dragged down by the weight of its enormous mortar, but it was all in vain. My only advice to you is to escape while you still can.
trap. How could I have been so naive? Cagliostro, that miscreant. He's got me. He's got us all.
There. You are free.
Senor, Vocations dancer. You're conscious too. And yet, you're not one of the Count's creatures, n'est-ce pas?
I do not know, monsieur.
But how?
Make haste. You must not linger here.
I shall seek refuge at the Cordelia Convent, just a stone's throw away from here. Its walls are said to be impenetrable. That's where the members of the Third Estate promised to meet if an abomination such as this were to occur.
A refuge for patriots.
Would you be so kind as to clear the way, madame?
En effet. That would be most prudent.
Ah, you are a blessing. The convent is over there, up on the hill. I shall meet you there once the danger has passed.
The Cordelier Convent is over there, up on the hill. Monsieur Lemonier's house is on this road, not far from here. I could pay him a visit to learn more about the death of the poor Dauphin.
Sure. Да что тут надо лучше? Что? Чего? сил врагами королевства, поскольку нам даровали прощение за установку Карла IX в Шинге. Умоляю, если вы, так и я, во всеуслышание заявили о своем патриотизме, найдите убежище, пока тиран не воплотил свои угрозы. Братский привет. Артист. Способленный. Проклятое тщеславие, оно сделало меня пособником для этого безумца. Слава и богатство — ничто в сравнении с сковавшим меня ужасом. Может быть, еще не поздно включить душу. Боже мой, кому доверить свои страшные знания, если не знаю, что мне купить мне пока молчать и ждать подходящего момента. В опасности только я, сам я.
There. Everything is fine, my dear. They've gone. Just think. They could have attacked us.
Poor Dr. Lemonnier. What crime did he commit to deserve such a cruel fate?
The king would not have ordered his own doctor to be mistreated like that.
But these machines are his, aren't they?
I don't know. They obeyed the man in the red suit. He was looking for something very specific, that's for sure.
Везет хренов. Здорово. А в чем прикол? затянуло. Что за затупка началась-то, а? разобраться. Как туда попасть-то? Отсюда. Ничего не понимаю. Что за карета?
my pet automat returns.
Pet? What the devil do you mean?
It's quite all right, Maximilian. This machine and I are already acquainted. She's not like the others. For one thing, she didn't try to kill me. Extraordinary as it may seem, she's capable of speech and reason, just as you and I.
What the deuce?
Mademoiselle, please allow me to introduce you to Monsieur Maximilien de Robespierre, lawyer and representative of Artois at the now defunct Estates General.
Maximilien de Robespierre.
Inconceivable.
I'd wager it was she who laid waste to that monstrosity that was blocking access to the convent. And thus, it is thanks to her that I was able to get to you at all.
Oui. I eliminated it.
Am I to understand that you have embraced our cause?
I must reach the Bastille, where Monsieur de Vaucanson is being held prisoner.
And in whose name are you undertaking this mission, pray tell?
I obey the Queen.
Ah bon? So the Austrian has turned against her husband. I'm not entirely sure that's cause for celebration. No doubt she hopes to further the aims of her brother, Emperor Joseph. With all this turmoil, she could very well hand him the country. In any case, madame, you must know that you have no chance of reaching the Bastille. It seems every effort has been made to restrict access to it. It would seem that the king is keeping his most treasured possessions there.
I must complete the task that has been given to me.
Your obstinacy changes nothing, madame. Who knows? Perhaps in time an opportunity will present itself. But for now, let us consider the positive and take comfort in the fact that we appear to share a common goal: bringing down the clockwork tyrant.
I must find Monsieur de Vaucanson. He holds the secret to the tireless automats.
This is surely true, and when the time comes, I will help you to reach the prison. Je vous le promets. But right now, the people are broken, counting their dead. They can but hide and pray they'll survive. Soon, however, those who bear love for their country in their hearts will be ready to fight again. We must prepare this uprising without delay. Since you have secured the area around this stronghold, more brave citoyens will surely join us soon. Alors, can we count on your support?
The king must be stopped.
I couldn't agree more, madame. Though I despise war, we must rally the people for battle as soon as possible. A reliable source tells me the arsenal at Les Invalides is overflowing with weapons, but a royal automat guards it. I now have no doubt that you are capable of defeating such a creature. But are you prepared to go back into the fray?
Yes, I am.
Very well. Try to clear the way so we can access the Hôtel des Invalides. Once you've done that, we'll take care of the rest. A handful of patriots are already there. Their task was to open a passage to the east, through the Faubourg Saint-Germain.
Very well. I will go and find them.
Твоя чё еще не освободил? Месье де Мирабель. Вот что мне удалось узнать о ваших товарищах из третьего сословия. На момент написания известно об убийстве депутатов Петиона, Баррера, Вадье, Брилия, Саванина, короче, дофига людей. По сообщениям добрались до укрытия. Ага. Базуш и Аннотье покинули Париж. Надеюсь, я смогу дальше держать вас в курсе новостей. Никола Фраша.
Monsieur de Lafayette, you are safe and sound.
Safe and sound indeed, but with a broken soul. I have just returned from Place Dauphine.
I understand, monsieur. The Garde Nationale.
I was too late. All these brave men, cut down in a single attack. Why was I not among them? Alas, I am condemned to outlive them and to witness an even greater calamity.
What disaster do you fear, monsieur?
It's a highly sensitive matter. I've been waiting in vain for a message of the utmost importance.
Can you tell me more about it?
Ma foi, at this point, I don't really have a choice.
You can speak freely. Have no fear.
Before the king's attack, I sent a squad of horsemen on a very important assignment. They were to collect a precious cargo at Gros Caillou, not far from the Hotel des Invalides.
What sort of cargo?
I'm sorry, Aegis, but I swore on my life to keep it a secret. All I can tell you is that it would give us a decisive advantage. But I haven't heard from my men. I'm worried that the exchange may have met with misfortune. It is paramount that I learn what happened and who has the cargo now. The future of the kingdom depends on it.
Since it's so important, I will go there myself and attempt to solve this mystery. There is no hope of reaching Les Invalides by the moat. I shall have to go round it through the Faubourg Saint-Germain. According to Monsieur de Robespierre, his men have cleared a path for me. Monsieur de Robespierre's men. They perished in the line of duty.
No! No, proszę. To grasp.
Подходите, пожалуйста, я не хочу умирать только так.
Not like this. Oh,
Ох, если бы я только
I would have
знал,
set
давным-давно
fire
бы
to
сжег
that monster
дотловый
factory
чудовищный
long
завод.
ago.
Monster factory?
Vaucanson's demonic forges. The Gehenna where you were smelted, just like all the murderers of your kind.
Monsieur, I have no intention of harming you. I have come to put an end to the king's actions.
If you're telling the truth, then go away and let me live.
Monsieur,
Au nom du ciel, put down your weapons. Please, I beg you to spare these poor people.
these poor people. But the streets are empty. There is not a soul there who is still alive.
There are still those who resist. Some good people came here earlier and asked me for a drink. They swore they would liberate the Hôtel des Invalides. They looked exhausted, but utterly determined to fight to their very last breath.
What about the automats? Have you observed their movements?
A convoy, led by those machines, went by here. Countless wagons, loaded with barrels. They came from the north, most likely from the factories. I think something terrible is going to happen.
What do you fear will happen?
I don't know, but I have a terrible feeling. Laissez-moi à présent. You'll draw those creatures to us.
Найти ты должен.
Hiding place in the Luxembourg Gardens. I should keep looking.
Помочь вам найти мадемуазель Адринаис. На ее поиски я отправил в Люксембургский сад 3 своих людей. Я понимаю, как много. Ваш труд значит для королевства. Но вы не можете безнаказанно и в ущерб важной полицейской работе пользоваться моими услугами в личных целях. Вы, месье, должны сами следить за своей дочерью и принять соответствующие меры, чтобы она больше не убегала. Юная особа ее положение не должна вести себя как же дикое животное. Жан де Люлье, полковник Парижской гвардии. Так, это надо искать еще.
Nice. For l'amour de Dieu, run and hide!
What do you mean, Papa?
Hurry, I beg you! The Count is at our door. He shall take us away.
Good heavens!
Don't worry about me. Run, I say. Run!
Where could she have escaped to? That hiding place in the Luxembourg Gardens. If I could find out where it was, I could track Athenais.
возле церкви.
Dieu Tout-Puissant!
Madame de Polignac.
It's dreadful, Aegis. All is lost.
How were you able to leave some clue?
Earlier, after you ventured out into the palace grounds, all of the machines that were guarding us set out after you. I seized the opportunity to go to the stables and jump into a horseless carriage.
What are you doing here, Madame?
The children, Aegis. Charlotte and the Dauphin. The Queen and the Marquis de Lafayette did everything they could do to save them from the King's madness. They spent days working out every detail of this operation with the greatest secrecy. The preparations for departure with our accomplices in the Queen's house. The children's escape, hidden inside this wagon. Our meeting here, in this very place. Then our departure with the riders who were to ensure our safe passage all the way to Austria. They would have been safe there with their uncle the Emperor. But you can see for yourself. The children are nowhere to be seen. Poor Monsieur Cléry. He was the Dauphin's valet. The poor soul gave his life to protect the little ones.
Madame. Four horses for 3 men. Someone is missing. A red cap with a rooster embroidered on it. A list of staging posts between Paris and Liège. Perhaps Madame de Polignac will know what this means. Madame. The attackers all bear the same red cap with an embroidered rooster.
It's the symbol worn by those who support the Duc d'Orléans.
One of them had a map indicating all the staging posts from here to the Principality of Liège.
Liège? That rabble-ridden city is where the Duke and his miscreants have established their base.
Over here, there are 4 dead horses, and the body of a 3rd man wearing a red cap.
4 horses for 3 men. That means one assailant managed to get away. It's beyond doubt. The Duke's men have taken the children. They're the ones behind this ambush, and they knew every detail of our plans. We were betrayed.
But surely the ambush did not go exactly as planned. 3 of them lost their lives.
That's true. If only we could catch the one who was able to escape. But now that I think about it, the riders that the Marquis de Lafayette promised us, if they made it here, they may have been able to surprise the kidnappers and stop them from carrying out their misdeed. By the grace of God, they may already be on their way to Vienna with the children.
I shall get to the bottom of this. Which garrison is this squad from?
They are stationed at the Hôtel des Invalides. The riders must have left from there.
Very well. I will try to retrace their steps. As for you, please return to the Queen at once. You have taken enough risks as it is.
Find the children, Aegis. Je vous en supplie.
Je vous en supplie. Ça, si je peux. Далее. Дом инвалидов. Что-то убежали. Игра.
They're after us. You must carry on, I beg you.
Don't make it. I'm out of breath.
Poranną dziewczynę. Suzanne, just a
Готовы,
bit
Сузанна,
more.
еще
We're
немного, мы
almost
почти на
there.
месте. Сейчас.
The Ottomans ravaged the church and slaughtered the faithful.
Моя больная сестра призывает меня к своему предусмотренному предсмертному ложу. Долг брата зовет меня подле, поэтому я вверяю вам ключик склепа и прошу взять на себя похороны в моем отсутствие, да пребудет с вами Бог. Отлично. Босс, что ли?
going to be all right. This machine is alone and the door is barricaded.
It won't hold. Did you see how easily those demons entered the church?
Don't be afraid. I mean you no harm.
Oh, Senor, he can speak.
What do you want with us, Automat?
What happened in this church?
You should know. It was your kind that slaughtered these lambs. I don't think those who were able to escape stand much of a chance either.
Where are the survivors?
They're hiding in the catacombs behind the church.
There's also the gentleman that the automats took alive.
Where did they take the gentleman?
We haven't the slightest idea.
That's enough questions now. Leave us be, Vertu.
Окей. Встал. Как с легкостью.
The debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes. Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
Все, короче, люди негодяи, я понял. Все скрывают что-то. Всех своих корыстных. Так. Где?
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
Блин, а нахрена?
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur.
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. No other.
For 2, no automat.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia Convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him, my abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Oh, my life and my fortune as well. I refuse to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts, bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire de fer in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown, not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
Приходскому священнику из коммуны Амбермени. Устав ордена запрещает нам вмешиваться в мирские дела. Лишь молитвой спасем души тех, кого всемилостливый Господь решит призвать к себе. Я веряю вам реликвии нашего братства и молюсь, чтобы вы, все, кто найдет убежище в трапезной нашего монастыря, защитили его от грозящего нам всем уничтожения. Да хранит вас Бог, Отец и Тень, священник ордена меньших братьев. Конечно, бухают это. Понятно. Габриэль, Маркизу, любезный муж. Как мы договаривались, этим утром я принимала месье Мертье, доктора ботанического сада. Он прибыл на корабле и долгое путешествие плохо сказалось на его здоровье. Тем не менее, он решил лично посетить плантацию и поделился своим мнением. По его словам, почва здесь прекрасная, и стоит построить теплицы для 500 саженцев гвоздичных деревьев. Или около того. Кроме того, понадобятся лестницы для сбора урожая, сушильни, амбары. Если вас это устраивает, сообщите мне как можно скорее. Я очень скучаю и всей душой надеюсь вновь увидеться в этом далеком и дорогом краю. Для нас краю.
Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening, Aegis.
I went to the meeting point you indicated. I had an unexpected encounter there.
Get to the facts. Who did you meet there?
Madame de Polignac, the Queen's favorite. She made no secret of her reason for being in that desolate place. So now I know all about the precious cargo that is the cause of your great concern.
Seigneur. The children. What happened? Tell me that nothing bad has happened to them.
That remains to be determined. One thing is certain. Charlotte and the young Dauphin are missing. The evidence points to an ambush by the Duc d'Orléans' men. They apparently attacked the wagon the children were hiding in.
How the hell did they know?
This ambush could not have taken place without an accomplice. You were betrayed.
A plague on Orléans and his damned informants. They have taken the children.
That still remains to be seen. It seems that the Duke's men were interrupted while carrying out their task. 3 of them lost their lives. A 4th was able to escape.
Excellent. I bet it was my hussars who sent the vermin running. But why the hell haven't they reported to me yet?
Only they could tell you that.
Would you be so kind as to go and find them? The lives of these poor children hang in the balance. My hussars are stationed at Les Invalides. That's from where they were to set off for Gros Caillou.
Goodbye, Monsieur le Marquis.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît. С Божьей помощью вы получили это письмо до начала работы Генеральных Штатов. Мы призываем вас не ограничиваться вопросами земледелия и не стесняться требований на заседании Версаля. Наш главный аргумент – у нас нет депутатов и все, чего хотят белые представители, для нас это не закон. Твердо стойте на своем и давайте отпор их презрению к нам. А еще поговорите с месье Некером. На его счету много благотворительных дел, что говорит о его человеколюбии и сердце открытым для угнетенных. С желанием здоровья, ваш друг и брат. Друг народа. Политическая газета. Какой толк в остром уме, мастерстве, дерзости и стойкости, если они работают на благо общества? Не стоит забывать, что год назад миссия Никер фактически подписал указ о голоде, заявив в угрозе нехватки продовольствия в 1988 году. Он тем самым дал толчок к росту цен на хлеб, а затем, воспользовавшись этим, и установил монополию, лишив пекарей свободы покупать припасы на свое усмотрение. Таким образом, уважаемые читатели, наш благодетель прибыл к рукам все зерно в королевстве, чтобы обогатить своих прислушников, приспешников-перекупщиков, и его друзья-министры, дворяне, верховные судьи и другие ушлые проходимцы. Все они участники заговора. С помощью дворцовых потаскух и лизоблюдов эти грабители наживаются на несчастьях народа. Граждане, мое перо свободное будет заключать месье Никара, покуда он заправляет делами королевства. Я буду писать о каждом его преступлении, пока этот голодающий не спасется бегством, не в силах скрыться.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur Raymond.
Aegis, we are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yourself. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. It counts some of the wealthiest plantation owners in the empire. Those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santé, our most formidable adversaries. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going, and resort to the vilest methods to achieve their ends. They worship nothing but money, and their greed is matched only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to suffer their company. 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiralty, when I overheard a conversation between 2 planters from Bastère. If they are to be believed, the Club de Massiac is plotting to create sleepless slaves, des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were their exact words. It's hard to say what this could possibly mean, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night, without rest. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such a hell. Aegis, we must look into this. It is a matter of great urgency.
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you condemn?
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre? S'il vous plaît, do tell.
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve their condition. No one would have the audacity to deny this.
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pockets at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. You know nothing of the realities of Saint-Domingue. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, without a livelihood, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery. No, I must act with both compassion and realism.
Any reform, revolutionary or not, must be taken step by step, with moderation and prudence.
This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself, at La Belle Gabrielle, my plantation in Guyane. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a weekly wage. And my plantation is no less profitable.
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see, the law of nature gives every man the right to cultivate his own land.
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. Now is no time to quarrel. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extremely worrying. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as possible. Aegis, you are the only one who stands a chance of making it to the Hôtel de Massiac alive.
My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon. We missed you when we had to... The path.
Goodbye, Monseigneur.
Allez en paix.
Monsieur Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. I am very pleased to find you here with us within the shelter of these walls.
I found a document written in a script that...
Let me see. Ah, je vois. These pages were written, a variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my...
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult. Je crois. I believe the author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur Bailly. Monsieur Lavoisier.
Madame, you're my guardian angel. I don't know anything about you, or what drug, but I owe you my life, and can refuse you nothing.
What is prussic?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from the cochineal, an insect.
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison, of the most dangerous sort. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison.
Aegis? Is everything all right?
How do you intend to counter the king's actions?
Unfortunately, we don't have the upper hand. For now, we can only hope to protect ourselves from him. I am convinced that something is afoot. Something that could destroy all our hopes in an instant.
You have my full attention.
You should know that I am a gunpowder commissioner. As such, I oversee the provision of gunpowder to the kingdom's arsenals, l'Arsenal de Paris in particular. For the past 2 days, a large quantity of gunpowder from Marsangy has been sitting near Les Invalides. It's in a warehouse by the factories. But the men I sent to take possession of the cargo and transport it to the Arsenal have gone missing. Do you realize what this means?
The gunpowder could have fallen into our enemy's hands.
It's possible. One thing is certain. It's enough to destroy half of Paris. Whether it is still in the warehouse or has fallen into the wrong hands, we must find it urgently. Then, if possible, we must neutralize it.
How?
Simply by placing it in contact with water. Nothing could be easier in theory, but we must find a way to flood it.
Flood the gunpowder? You're out of your mind, Lavoisier. We're in the most desperate of situations and you want to deprive us of such a valuable resource. What will our cannons use once we have formed our army of patriots?
Your army, Marquis, is presently but a figment of your imagination.
I see. So you're one of those men who would sound the retreat before the battle has even begun.
I will go to the warehouse. Once I have located the powder, I will decide what to do with it. Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
Какие же зануды!
Monsieur de Mirabeau.
Have your efforts paid off?
What does this letter mean?
Who gave you the right to read my correspondence?
I'm curious about how you got rid of Italia. As if it burned your fingers.
To tell you the truth, you're not entirely wrong. It is a missive sent by my father, the Marquis de Mirabeau, the scoundrel who shamelessly dares to call himself the friend of... He writes to say that he is on the brink of death, in such a desperate state that he has received extreme unction. This reprobate used his final moments on this mortal plane to send me threats yet again. He swears that he will torment me from beyond the grave.
How is that possible?
To my knowledge, he has not yet deigned to shuffle off this mortal coil. In any case, the satisfaction of knowing he is dead would not have... This man is more persistent than the plague. He has spent his entire life persecuting his family. And I believe he is ready to spend his eternal rest continuing to do the same. I need to know what he's planning.
Where is he now?
At his home in Argenteuil. Given the circumstances, going to ask him for an explanation is out of the question. But the man who heard his final confession is here.
Monseigneur de la Fare.
Precisely. Only this confounded shaveling refuses to tell me a word of what the old dragon confided to him. He stubbornly insists on the secrecy of confession. Bon sang. Will we ever be rid of these damned superstitions? Aegis, would you be so kind as to intercede with the bishop? Perhaps you will be able to make him change his mind. Were you able to speak with Monseigneur de la Fare?
No, not yet. Minister Necker claims that you are a familiar face.
That old story. Will it hound me? This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor that I am trying in vain. To what do I owe the displeasure of having to defend myself once again?
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the king's chambers.
What luck could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. Who could help you? After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple mechanism. Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear Monsieur Bailly. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be of use? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well, our gunpowder commissioner. I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you something you can use to blow the door off that stubborn safe.
Good. I will go and find him.
Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an urgent matter to attend to.
You are forgiven for everything.
In that case, it has been a pleasure, madam.
Да что это за угар, блин?
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Monseigneur.
What can I do for you, Regis?
Monseigneur.
Я бы хотела
I would like
поговорить
to
с
talk to you
вами
about
о
your
вашей
recent
недавней
meeting
встрече
with
с
the Marquis de
маркизом де Мирабеau.
What has gotten into all of you?
Такое,
This has
довольно
gone on long
слишком.
enough. I will say it one last time and pray that they will finally leave me alone. Nothing and no one will make me violate the secrecy of his confession. Have I made myself clear?
Perfectly clear, Monseigneur.
Ну и хрен с тобой.
How was your search at the Vaucansons' home?
I found this penknife there. I was struck with a vision as soon as I picked it up. I saw Mademoiselle de Vaucanson running from the Comte de Cagliostro. This letter refers to a hiding place where she often sought refuge. It's in the Jardin du Luxembourg.
I know the place. One day, Eugène and I were walking in the Luxembourg gardens when suddenly Athénaïs jumped out from our hiding place like a wild animal. It was a startling, almost frightening sight. The spot is on the edge of the garden, hidden by vegetation between two statues.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is supposed to be unbreakable. Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you for help.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant, not a locksmith. I know my way around lenses, filters, racks and tripods. But I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock works. God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking with you, that's all. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might ask him.
He has left. A matter that could not wait.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the convent? That's madness. What was so important that he would put himself in such danger?
Intriguing indeed. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
I would like to access the contents of a safe that is supposedly unbreakable. Dare I ask for your help, Monsieur Lavoisier?
And how can I be of assistance to you, madame?
I need gunpowder to break through the door.
Gunpowder? But I don't have a speck of it, mon ami. Do you think I just walk around with explosives in my pockets?
Oh, I apologize. It was Monsieur de Mirabeau's idea.
Mirabeau? What is this ridiculousness? I suspect he knows full well whatever he's playing at. Where is the animal? So we can ask him what's truly going on.
He has left. He had an urgent matter to attend to.
Eh bien. I'm sorry, madame. If I could inspect the safe and determine what metal was used in its fabrication, I might be able to find a solution. But given the circumstances, I'm sadly not in a position to help you.
I understand. I did not find the work.
Vraiment? It's near Les Invalides, not far.
Goodbye, Monsieur.
Все. Прикладывают записи что-то с кристаллным доктором. Она прольет свет на цель смерти вашего старшего сына и напечатает с короля, как она делала. Да пипец. Все пока.